to the Rock on Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, we'll see the aftermath of Hurricane Milton and the death and destruction left in its wake.
Plus, a man was sentenced for abusing the elderly in Hamden.
And with the election fast approaching, we'll also give you a look at some of the ballot questions so you can make an informed decision.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. We'll have those stories and a lot more, including some photos from last night's incredible Northern Lights. Everybody's been posting those beautiful pictures on social media today, so we'll look at some of those. But first, a check of our forecast, and it's looking pretty nice today. We'll have some sunshine heading into the weekend.
Yeah, seems like it. Here's Devin Biggs with that forecast.
All right, our first weather this morning is brought to you by Irish Collision Center. Irish Collision Center offers expert repairs with a 3D frame measuring system, aluminum repair equipment. Our recent expansion boosts capacity, faster service. We are dedicated to quality every time. Visit us today. All right, just a few passing clouds out there this morning. Not much going on at all. We're not looking at any rain showers in the forecast. We still got a couple more days for that to happen. Now, temperature-wise, though, right back in those mid-40s right in town. Same story right at the coast, Rockland, Bar Harbor, and Timochias, even up north, Greenville, Millinocket area, you are hovering back in those mid to upper 40s. So overall, though, mostly 40s all over the state. Now, we're looking at a light breeze, a little bit more of a gusty wind right up north. See this pocket right here of those blue colors indicating wind gusts right around 20 plus miles an hour in some spots. Sustained winds right around 13 in Millinocket area. Now, we do have small craft advisories that are in effect till around 2 p.m. That is for later on today. And that is for everyone right off the coast. Now, speaking of today, we're looking at lots of sunshine outside. Windy conditions, that northwest wind right around 25 miles an hour. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler, a couple of degrees below average, hovering in those upper 50s. Now for tonight, though, once again, 40s will be back, mid-40s at that. Partly cloudy skies and those breezy conditions will be continuing. For tomorrow, though, upper 50s once again. Lots of sunshine, will be windy in the forecast. Our hour-by-hour forecast does show temperatures continuing to warm up back in those upper 50s to lower 60s.
The death toll is rising from Hurricane Milton. At least 15 now confirmed dead across multiple counties in Florida after the storm slammed into the west coast of the state as a Category 3 hurricane Wednesday night. Rescue efforts are still underway and millions are still without power. ABC's Raina Roy has more from St. Petersburg.
This morning, stories of survival emerging amid the death and destruction from Hurricane Milton. This man found floating 30 miles off the Gulf Coast, clinging to a cooler to stay afloat. The Coast Guard rescuing him after he tried to ride out Milton on his fishing boat in 90-mile-per-hour winds and 25-foot seas. Milton made landfall Wednesday night south of Tampa as a Category 3 hurricane. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office going door to door on boats and in high water vehicles, rescuing more than 725 people, including 500 from this apartment complex. And this 14-year-old boy was pulled to safety after floating on a piece of fencing. In Tampa, a mother and son using their fishing boat to help stranded people.
These people all need help. Nobody has been here today.
In Gulf Coast communities from Naples to Venice, people are finding their homes buried under feet of sand.
How many feet of sand would you say we're standing on top of right now?
3 feet, probably 3 feet.
Milton spawned 38 reported tornadoes, damaging hundreds of homes. At least 6 people killed when a tornado hit this retirement community. 12 tornadoes reported within 90 minutes in St. Lucie County.
When I was coming back around, there was people screaming in the trailer park, and 2 or 3 of us jumped a ditch to go check it out, and one guy was already passed away, and it looked like there was a bomb. Went off right there.
In Palm Beach Gardens, this dumpster was picked up by the tornado thrown onto a house. The Palm Beach County Sheriff called the damage in the Wellington area extensive, saying all 200 homes he surveyed were uninhabitable.
And I can tell you why, because the places that I saw looked like it was an atomic bomb blew it up.
And President Biden is now calling on Congress to immediately pass additional funding for disaster aid. Rena Roy, ABC News, St. Petersburg, Florida.
And the widespread damage caused by Hurricane Milton includes the roof of the Tropicana field being destroyed. Wind speeds in the area reached 101 miles per hour on Wednesday night, tearing off the stadium's roof, but leaving the metal frame intact. The stadium is the home of the Tampa Bay Rays and was set to be the staging site for 10,000 emergency first responders. But a spokesperson for the field confirmed that only essential personnel were inside the stadium when the roof came off, and no injuries were reported. A new ballpark for the Rays was already in the works. It's set to open for the Rays in the 2028 season.
For another look at the damage done by Hurricane Milton, we spoke with northern Tampa resident Barry Martin about his experience during and after the storm. Martin says his area was spared from the eye of the storm, but still suffered damage. According to Martin, North Tampa experienced winds of 80 to 90 miles per hour and received about 14 inches of rain.
And as you can see, I'm standing in our roads, and they're totally flooded with about 2 or 3 feet of water. You know, we have 50,000 people working in Florida right now to restore power. Florida as a total had 4 million people out of power. We're down to 3.4 million. We had like 700,000 here in Hillsborough County this morning. We're down to around 518,000 right now. So they do pretty well in getting stuff back.
Well, meanwhile, a man involved in abusing 2 dependent people at a Hampden residential care facility was sentenced on Thursday to 5 years in prison. 47-year-old Rene Dubois of Prospect is one of 4 people from Lee Residential Care to be charged in that case, and now the second former employee to be found guilty. Our Doug Banks has more.
On Thursday afternoon, Rene Dubois pleaded guilty to 1 count of endangering the welfare of a dependent person. Back in September, I reached out to the mother of one of the victims in this case. Last week, she responded and asked to speak with ABC 7 and Fox 22 News following Thursday's sentencing. She asked that her son's name to not be used, but rather his initials, KR.
And I was actually really close to Rene. And he was really close to my son.
On Thursday, inside the Penobscot Judicial Center, Rene Dubois III pleaded guilty to 1 count of endangering the welfare of a dependent person. The 47-year-old of Prospect was sentenced to 5 years with all but 2 suspended. Dubois was asked to report for his incarceration shortly after court was adjourned to the Maine Department of Corrections.
I think Patricia Pullen, the Assistant Attorney General, did the absolute best job she could do with a very difficult set of circumstances.
Out of the 4 former employees charged with abusing 2 dependent people at the assisted living facility Lee Residential Care, Dubois is now the second to plead guilty. Back in August, Zachary Connors pleaded guilty to 1 felony count of intentionally endangering the welfare of a dependent person and is currently serving a 5-year prison sentence. Those close to the victims were asked to speak before the court on Thursday. KR's mother, Danielle Longsworth, said she originally didn't plan on speaking, but felt compelled to do so because of the love she has for her son.
I love him. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him. Everything I do for him. I looked him actually in the eye and I told him that my son loved you. My son loved you and he trusted you. And of all the people that you let them hurt him. And also you did not speak up when you could have spoken up.
KR's co-guardian Margaret Longsworth shared with ABC 7 and Fox 22 News the speech she wrote and said before the court on Thursday. That speech in its entirety can be found on our website. Doug Banks reporting in studio for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
An organization that spends its time helping others found itself in need of some assistance yesterday morning. The Caring Community Cupboard is a food pantry in Old Town that has been supplementing a few meals a week for about 400 people. They had gotten a grant to build a room so the people they serve don't have to wait outside. When volunteers arrived yesterday morning, they discovered the tarp was off of their pile of lumber and a good portion of it had been stolen.
It's just sad. I believe most people are good. They really are. And I was quite angry this morning when I saw what was taken, and I actually had someone put a post on our Facebook page because it couldn't be me to do it because I was so angry, because I know how hard we all work. But, you know, we need to move on.
A local business owner saw that post and dropped off a check for $200 to help cover the cost of the stolen lumber. If you'd like to donate to Caring Community Cupboard, you can send checks to Post Office Box 226 in Old Town or drop them off at their location at 354 Main Street in Old Town.
Well, over the past few months, Governor Mills has nominated officials to a number of different roles. Yesterday, they can officially begin their work after a series of confirmation votes that were held in the Maine Senate. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bichard has the details.
Senate will be in order.
Lawmakers returned to the halls of the State House on Thursday, but they aren't passing any new bills. Instead, they're taking on the task of confirming the nominations made by Governor Mills. Many of the nominations were for judges, board members, and the state fire marshal. Those went largely unopposed. The nomination that sparked the most debate was for Sarah Gagné-Holmes as the commissioner of Maine DHHS.
It's time we bring in somebody new, somebody that hasn't been part of the establishment, somebody that can look at it from the outside.
Some lawmakers stood up for Gagné-Holmes.
I am encouraged by her attitude. And I just wanted to be clear, I'll be voting for the nominee, but my vote is not a vote for the status quo, and in fact, it's just the reverse.
In the end, 8 senators voted to oppose her nomination and 24 voted to confirm her as Maine's new DHHS commissioner. Gagné-Holmes says she knows she has a lot of work to do within the next 2 years to try and fix the broken system.
I'm committed to rebuilding trust with the people we serve. We're going to do that through technology, through more efficiencies, through ensuring that the communications we do make are clear and concise and people know where they need to go and what they need to do.
And with their task complete, lawmakers again returned to the campaign trail with less than 1 month until the election and less than 2 months until the start of the 132nd legislature. At the State House, I'm Corey Bichard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, the time now is 6:12. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Ellsworth is deciding whether or not to allow recreational pot shops inside the city. We'll go over everything you need to know to provide your input.
But first, another check of that forecast. Today, not a bad day at all. Sunny and a bit windy with highs near 59 degrees. Tonight will be partly cloudy and breezy with lows dropping down to the upper 40s. Tomorrow, a nice Saturday on the way, mostly sunny and windy with highs near 59. We'll be right back.
You're gripping a pumpkin spice latte, watching the home game on a Friday night. Earlier, you took the kids apple picking and almost made it through the corn maze. It's that time of year. Shorter days, cooler nights. Valley Home Services believes the comfort and warmth of home means more on nights like these. Comfort and warmth that comes from Fujitsu heat pumps. Valley Home Services has the most reliable choices for heating and cooling your home or business. Ditch the worry of heating bills and power outages all season long with Valley Home Services. Go ahead, embrace the comfort.
At WKIT in the 90s, things were a little different. Now we take the rock very seriously. Still clowning around decades later, 100.3 WKIT, WKIT HD, Brewer, Bangor.
This was built on land that was once a massive orange grove.
Is it Disneyland?
Person, place, or thing.
Weekdays at 10 on ABC7.
This is the People's Court.
What were you doing with binoculars looking into her yard? That's creepy as hell.
It's rough, it's tough, and we just can't get enough.
You're both total liars.
Real litigants, real cases, real drama. The People's Court.
On ABC7.
Welcome back, everyone. Ellsworth residents will soon decide if they want to allow recreational marijuana stores within the city. Our David Ledford spoke with a city council member to break down what voters should know about that upcoming referendum question before they head to the polls.
This November, Ellsworth voters will be asked if they want to allow retail stores that sell adult-use cannabis.
The question is, do you as a citizen want to opt into Ellsworth having adult-use cannabis? formerly called recreational. These are stores you can walk into without a medical card and purchase cannabis.
Ellsworth already has some medical marijuana shops in the city, but if voters approve the referendum in November, the city's planning department will begin drafting ordinances and regulations to allow for adult use cannabis stores, which will then go to the city council for a final vote. There will also be a 6-month moratorium while these are being drafted. During this part of the process, the city will decide where the stores would go, how many would be allowed in the city, and further details like hours of operation.
We're certainly not looking to put a shop on every corner. We'll probably max out recreational shops at 2, maybe 3.
If the referendum passes, there will also be at least 2 public hearings and workshops to allow for further public input. If the referendum does not pass, current members of the council will not take further action.
If this didn't pass, basically nothing would change. The existing medical shops that are already quote-unquote grandfathered in would stay just as they are.
However, a no vote would not prevent future action on adult use cannabis stores. A future city council could take action by vote or referendum. To learn more about this referendum and to view the city's latest informational workshops, visit ellsworthmaine.gov. In Ellsworth, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Senator Angus King and a number of his colleagues are calling for a study to examine the impacts of ageism. They say ageism is associated with a decreased likelihood that older adults will receive care that meets medical guidelines, as well as an increased likelihood they're not properly reimbursed for care. They're also excluded from clinical trials and other research that is available to the general public. On a percentage basis, Maine leads the nation with the highest 65 and older population. In a letter to the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, Senator King and his colleagues wrote, quote, "Ageism within healthcare leads to poorer health outcomes, avoidable morbidity, and costly preventable adverse events. Ageism costs the healthcare system $63 billion annually. In healthcare, ageism is expressed in our policies, the practice of healthcare providers, and negative assumptions held by older adults themselves."
All right, moving on now. Referendum question 5 on the main ballot asks, do you favor making the former state flag replaced as the official flag of the state in 1909 and commonly known as the pine tree flag, the official flag of the state? Basically saying, do you want to change the Maine state flag to the version that Maine adopted back in 1909? We asked a few Mainers how they feel about that referendum.
I've always been a fan of the old flag personally. I just think that it's more unique to Maine than the other one, which looks like a whole bunch of other states.
I don't know. I kind of like the one we have, so but I don't have any hard decision either way, really.
Personally, I think we should keep it on what it is now, but that's just my personal opinion. Not that I know a lot of people would probably want the original one back to bring back original tradition, but I don't know. With growing up here my whole life, I think I'd much rather prefer that one.
Very reflective, I think, of a lot of people's opinions.
Yeah, I've been hearing, most of the people I've been hearing, and I judge a lot of that on social media, they want to keep the flag we have now.
Yeah.
They like the old flag, but they something about it, they like the new one.
I know.
Yeah, I want to say the new one, but
right.
It's kind of confusing.
Right,
Yeah.
I know. We have a lot of referendum questions this year, too.
Yeah.
All right, the time now is 6:18. After the break, a cap on the number of people who could come ashore in Bar Harbor is back on the ballot. We'll let you know how you can make your voice heard when Good Morning Maine continues.
Me and my co-workers get up and we go into work every day. Yet illegal immigrants in this state are getting things handed to them for free. Jared Golden voted to protect sanctuary cities instead of voting to help his own people. Jared Golden pretends to be a moderate, but he's not. Washington has exposed Jared Golden for what he truly is, a tax and spend, liberal, Democrat. He says one thing and does another.
Strategic Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. Qualified Chevy lessees can lease this Silverado for around $359 a month. Visit your Maine Chevy dealers.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna. Goose River Farm and Meat Store is conveniently located on Route 3 across from Hammond Lumber in Belfast. They have a wide selection of meat and poultry, including beef, pork, lamb, chicken, duck, rabbit, and turkey. Open Tuesday through Saturday.
In 2022, Bar Harbor residents voted to limit the number of cruise ship passengers that can come ashore to 1,000 a day. Now, voters are being asked whether or not to repeal that decision this November.
Our Grace Blanchard breaks down the referendum question that is causing controversy throughout the community.
Lots of small towns in Maine don't have this challenge because they're not in a, they're not sitting next to Arcadia National Park and they don't have this issue.
This election, referendum question 4 is asking Bar Harbor residents whether or not to repeal the land use ordinance that was approved in 2022, which capped the number of passengers allowed to be dropped off by cruise ships to 1,000. That would be replaced with a new licensing approach brought forth by the town council.
Our approach has a daily passenger cap of 3,200, but it also includes monthly caps and annual and seasonal caps as well. So and then also contracted days off. So we have days with ship-free days that are within that contracted system.
Town officials say the current ordinance has been challenging to enforce and has resulted in a lot of litigation.
Part of this is about having the tools that we need to really be able to manage visitation into the future.
During May through August, Bar Harbor's busiest months, there would be a monthly limit of 20,000 passengers.
We need the cruise ships. We've spent years cultivating this whole cruise ship industry coming here, and it's all just going down the drain, which is unfortunate.
Those who are not satisfied with the proposed compromise hope to see the original ordinance stand.
The town is simply overtaken with cruise ship visitors, and they're visitors like anybody else, but the town is overtaken, which harms the interest of everybody else, the residents, the land visitors, all the other businesses. It's simply too many people in too short a time.
To learn more, you can visit our website, foxbangor.com. In Bar Harbor, I'm Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Boy, it sure is pretty down there.
Yeah.
You have to admit that.
I know. I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of town.
Good for you.
Yeah. All right, the time now is 6:22.
Let's get a full look at our forecast. Looking good for a trip to Bar Harbor, too.
I know. I'm happy about it. Here's Conrad Sapinski.
Our Maine weather this morning is brought to you by Irish Collision Center. Irish Collision Center offers expert repairs with a 3D frame measuring system, aluminum repair equipment. Our recent expansion boosts capacity, faster service. We are dedicated to quality every time. Visit us today. Another quiet start to the day for our Friday. It's the weekend around the corner. Let's go, my friends. It is absolutely knocking on our door. So exciting stuff there, right? And weather-wise, though, we're having some exciting stuff once again. A dry stretch will be continuing. Dew points will start to rise right around that Monday morning time frame into the afternoon hours. No worries, though, right in time for Tuesday into Wednesday. Dew points will be dropping once again to comfortable levels. Now we're getting that push of colder air. So this blue all the way down to Raleigh, upstate New York, Pennsylvania, Detroit. We're looking at temperatures in the 30s and 40s. But in the central parts of the country, look at all this yellow. That's showing some very, very mild temperatures. Minneapolis is starting out the day close to 70 degrees. It is almost middle of October. Incredibly warm temperatures. Now, we've had our own share of very warm temperatures, those red colors pretty much every single day, but then we had that turn on Monday. So this last week, the last 4 days, we saw temperatures a couple of degrees below average back in those 50s and 60s. Remember those 70s and 80s? They are long gone. Now we are entering more of a fall, cooler type of weather trend. Our average should be right around 60 degrees as a high. We're going to be a couple of degrees below that the next several days. Tuesday, low 50s outside, upper 40s as high temperatures on Wednesday, and then slightly warmer by Thursday. Temperatures will be at 52. That is still well below average. Now, we are seeing those light winds. Millinocket area in and around your region, you are looking at more of a gusty wind, where sustained winds right around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Wind gusts close to 20 to even 25 in some spots. spots. We're actually going to get worse, especially by Saturday morning time frame. So we're looking at widespread, very gusty winds, right around even 40 miles an hour in some spots, inland as well. So of course, by the coast, a little bit more of that gusty wind. For today, though, sunny skies, though, breezy conditions, windy at times, temperatures right around 59 degrees. For tonight, though, mid-40s outside, partly cloudy skies. It will be breezy once again. For tomorrow, very gusty winds, temperatures right around 59, but mostly sunny skies. Our extended forecast outlook does show another good-looking day out there for Saturday, even into Sunday, and then more chances of rain showers by Monday.
For those long training miles, demanding hours, strolls, and trails. At Lamy Wellahan, we know our feet are our foundation. That's why we offer free consultations and a selection of quality, comfortable shoes to fit your lifestyle. Shop local at Lamy Wellahan.
Pat's Pizza in Holden is not just a restaurant that serves delicious food and pizza. They also have an adjacent party and event room. Consider having your birthday or office party at Pat's Pizza. They have indoor golf, a pro shop, and a beautiful 9-hole golf course open for the season. Pat's Pizza, Holden.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in too.
I am in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be here.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
A new law that outlawed abortion past 6 weeks in all cases.
These laws make me sick and heartbroken.
The government shouldn't be in the examining room.
It's extremists that don't allow women to have choice.
It's none of your business.
Austin Terrio is on the same side as the extremists who want to have a national abortion ban.
And these extremists, they're going to try to control women.
What else will they ban? What else will they monitor? What other privacy will we lose? Austin Terrio scares me.
Step into comfort and style at Lamy Wellahan. Take 15% off your footwear purchase during our Fall Festival sale, October 12th to the 14th. Shop in-store or online. Use code FALLFEST24 and walk away happy. Exclusions apply.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Rescue crews begin recovery efforts in Beirut, Lebanon, following a deadly airstrike from Israel. Lebanese health officials report 22 deaths and dozens of injuries after they say an Israeli air raid decimated 2 residential buildings. Israel says it is looking into the reported strikes. Hezbollah, which operates in Lebanon, says the attack was aimed to kill its top security official, Wafiq Safah. The airstrike is part of a consistent attack between the two sides, attacks for more than a year now.
One of the last major inflation reports was out Thursday morning. Fox's David Spunt is in Washington with the latest on that and how it could impact the upcoming presidential election.
Stocks opened Thursday morning fluctuating. Investors responding to the latest economic report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The Consumer Price Index, measuring the cost of goods and services, showing inflation rose 0.2% last month, as well as 2.4% over the previous 12 months. But although prices rose more than expected, the annual increase in inflation was the smallest in more than 3 years, potentially keeping the Federal Reserve on track to cut interest rates again next month.
It certainly seems as though the inflation numbers pretty much across the board were either as expected on one count, but pretty much warmer on all counts.
The new inflation data coming less than 1 month before the presidential election, with most voters citing the economy as the most important issue.
The inflation seems to be wearing on people. I'm a realtor, and so I see how it's affecting my clients.
On the campaign trail, Vice President Harris is looking to overcome former President Trump's edge on the economy, and she's getting help from the president of the United Auto Workers, the union that endorsed Harris earlier this summer and this morning took aim at Trump.
He was a job killer in chief because he is a champion of corporate greed.
But the Trump campaign is blaming Biden-Harris policies for higher prices over the past 4 years.
When we go to war on American energy, we make everything more expensive.
Another sign that the pace of inflation is cooling. This morning, the Social Security Administration set its 2025 cost of living adjustment at just 2.5%, the smallest annual COLA hike since 2021. In Washington, David Spunt, Fox News.
Well, meanwhile, Social Security recipients can expect a smaller cost of living boost starting in January. Millions who get Social Security payments will now get a 2.5% cost of living increase in their monthly checks based on cost of living adjustments. That translates into an average increase of more than $50 for retirees every month. In 2024, Social Security recipients got a 3.2% increase in their benefits. That's compared to a historic 8.7% increase back in 2023. Thanks to inflation, about 72.5 million people get Social Security benefits. Through Social Security and Medicare, they are facing major financial shortfalls. An annual trustees report from May said the program's trust fund won't be able to pay full benefits starting in 2035.
The Food and Drug Administration gives the green light for the first at-home COVID-19 and flu test with no prescription needed. The agency announced the authorization of the HealGen Rapid Check COVID-19/flu A and B antigen test for outside emergency use on Monday. The FDA says the test includes a nasal swab to deliver results in about 15 minutes. The agency says people ages 14 and up can take the test on their own, while those 2 years and older will need adult supervision.
I may need some adult supervision myself.
Just in general.
Yeah, just in general.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll hear all the latest news from show business in today's Hollywood Nation.
That and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
When outdoors, some people like it hot and some people like it cold. However, when indoors, most people like it comfortably warm. Choose a Boderas boiler from McCusick Petroleum Company to provide you with comfortable and efficient heat. They also offer sales and service on many brands of furnaces, boilers, and water heaters. McCusick Petroleum Company delivers oil and LP gas to homes and businesses throughout the Pequot region. If you'd like more information on pricing or service, call or stop by our office in Dover Foxcroft.
Apple harvest is on at Truergy Family Orchards. Now is the time to make fall memories. Experience agriculture on a Maine family farm. Open 6 days a week.
Embrace the journey, where each moment turns into a cherished memory. Ensuring life's journey and experiences along the way. AAA, we're always with you.
Maine's largest network of parts just got a little bigger. Coastal Auto Parts, newest location in Bangor, has all your automotive needs to get you to the moments that matter most. Whether you're a professional mechanic or just need a little help, find everything you need all under one roof. Our knowledgeable staff is here to assist you with friendly service and expert advice right here at 200 Sylvan Road, just off I-95. Drive in, stock up, and hit the road with confidence. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Friday, October 11th, 2024, and it is also National Coming Out Day.
This holiday helps raise awareness for people in the LGBTQ community and champions the idea that homophobia thrives on silence. On this day, many people choose this day to talk to their friends and families about their sexuality, which can be very difficult. This holiday was inspired by a march on Washington in 1987 when people decided to create a national day to celebrate coming out. You know, I have a lot of friends who are still, a lot of their family members kind of disowned them after they said that. So that's still a thing right now. A lot of people don't agree with how other people choose to live their lives. But it's just the way you are, and I'm very protective of my friends and family who are in the LGBTQIA community.
I feel the same way. I had a stepson once, and he came out a few years ago, and he of course got nothing but support and love from everybody. Everybody knew anyway. It's like, hey, we know, brother. It's okay. Don't worry about it. There's no problem. But he's thriving and having a wonderful life, and that is not the case for so many young people trying to come out. I mean, the suicide rates are really high.
Suicide rates, homelessness rates, those adversely make up both of those communities. It's unfair to see how often they represent.
Yeah. As we know, we have a long way to go, but luckily it seems like some things are shifting for the better, and you know, people are being more inclusive, and
I know.
You know, let people live their lives.
I know.
Do their thing.
Yep.
So anyway, my little opinion.
Right.
All right, I'm going to keep the rest of my opinions to myself. Moving on to history now. On this day in history, back in 1890, the Daughters of the American Revolution was founded in Washington, D.C. In 1929, J.C. Penney opened up a store in Milford, Delaware, making it a national company with stores in all 48 states. We didn't have Alaska and Hawaii at that time, so by then they were a nationwide company. In 1968, Apollo 7, the first manned Apollo mission, was launched into space. 3 crewmen orbited the Earth for 11 days and transmitted the very first live television broadcast while in orbit. And in 1975, Bruce Springsteen, the Boss, scored his first pop hit with the song Born to Run.
You know, we do these on this day in histories all the time. Bruce Springsteen is in these all the time.
I know.
He has so many hits, so many albums, so many fans. Yeah, I get it. I love Bruce Springsteen too. But he's in there all the time.
He is.
He's a busy guy.
He's the boss.
I know.
I mean, what can you say? Yeah.
In 1975, also, Saturday Night Live debuted on TV. In 1983, the last hand-cranked telephones in the U.S. went out of service. That's when the 440 telephone customers from Bryant Point, Maine, were switched over to direct dial service.
That's the old box on the wall, you know. Hey, Mabel, can you connect me to Charlie?
Okay, so not the ones that go... Not with the circular thingy.
Well, I don't know. I was thinking it was the hand-cranked one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Now that you say that, I wonder if it is the dial, but it would seem
No, because
like
they call that a dial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That does make more sense.
They were living in the dark ages for a little bit longer.
Crazy.
Yeah.
In 1991, Anita Hill testified before a Senate committee claiming she was a victim of sexual harassment from Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas. Thomas denounced the allegations as a high-tech lynching and was confirmed as the newest member of the court. And in 2002, President Jimmy Carter was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his decades of work to find peaceful solutions to international conflicts. A peanut farmer from Georgia, Carter also worked to advance democracy and human rights and promoted economic and social development. And in 2017, the Boy Scouts of America announced that it would admit girls into the Cub Scouts program and would establish a new program for older girls. So I think now they're called the Scouts of America. They're not called the Boy Scouts of America.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I think so. I was corrected recently, and I think I may still be getting it wrong. But
yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, for birthdays today, they include rocker Daryl Hall, who is 78 years old. I love those little things they do at Daryl's house. They have different musicians come in there, and they have jam sessions.
I didn't know about
different
that.
genres. Oh, you got to look it up.
Cool.
It's really cool. They have people from all different genres come in there, and you know, kind of neat. Very entertaining.
Yeah.
Actress Jane Krakowski turns
so
56.
Funny. Oh
she is funny.
She cracks me up.
And rapper Cardi B, one of my all-time favorites, is 32 years old today.
Yeah, Craig's really bumping Cardi B on his ride home from work.
He's cranking it right up. The windows just shaking, you know. So get me some Cardi B going.
I could see it. I really could.
Probably not, but
no.
I like some rap.
We'll put you on to it later. Yeah.
I'm open to whatever. So.
You say that.
I know. And a lot of it is just I saw, what was her name? She was at Bangor a couple years ago. Iggy Azalea.
That's a different story.
And I felt like a very old man there.
That's a different story.
Like, oh my God, what is she saying? You know, with my daughter right there. But anyway, I like me some Pitbull though. Pitbull was good.
Yeah, Pitbull
I like
was
this
good.
Stuff. So. All right, we're talking enough. Let's talk about the weather now. It looks like some pretty nice weather heading into the weekend.
Hopefully it remains clear overnight. We do have some footage of the northern lights from last night. Because it's been so clear, it makes for stunning conditions for the northern lights. So if you are interested in doing that tonight or tomorrow, conditions appear like they could be okay. So let's get a look at that forecast with Conrad Sapinski.
All right, our first weather this morning is brought to you by Irish Collision Center. Irish Collision Center offers expert repairs with a 3D frame measuring system, aluminum repair equipment. Our recent expansion boosts capacity, faster service. We are dedicated to quality every time. Visit us today. All right, just a few passing clouds out there this morning. Not much going on at all. We're not looking at any rain showers in the forecast. We still got a couple more days for that to happen. Now, temperature-wise, though, right back in those mid-40s right in town. Same story right at the coast, Rockland, Bar Harbor, and Machias. Even up north, Greenville, Millinocket area, you are hovering back in those mid to upper 40s. So overall, though, mostly 40s all over the state. Now, we're looking at a light breeze, a little bit more of a gusty wind right up north. See this pocket right here of those blue colors indicating wind gusts right around 20+ miles an hour in some spots. Sustained winds right around 13 in Millinocket area. Now, we do have small craft advisories that are in effect till around 2 p.m. That is for later on today. And that is for everyone right off the coast. Now, speaking of today, we're looking at lots of sunshine outside. Windy conditions, that northwest wind right around 25 miles an hour. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler, a couple of degrees below average, hovering in those upper 50s. Now for tonight, though, once again, 40s will be back, mid-40s at that. Partly cloudy skies and those breezy conditions will be continuing. For tomorrow, though, upper 50s once again. Lots of sunshine, will be windy in the forecast. Our hour-by-hour forecast does show temperatures continuing to warm up back in those upper 50s to lower 60s.
Thank you, Conrad. Well, Hugh Jackman announces 2025 residency, and more stars line up to help with Hurricane Helene relief efforts.
Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has all of those stories and more in today's Hollywood Nation.
Guy's got good instincts.
Guy's got good everything.
Richson gets a renewal. Jackman returns to the stage, and country music stars unite for a good cause in the Hollywood Nation. The concert for Carolina expands its star-studded lineup. Keith Urban, Sheryl Crow, and Bailey Zimmerman will perform at the benefit, which will raise funds for victims of Hurricane Helene. They join headliners Luke Combs, Eric Church, Billy Strings, and James Taylor. It will take place at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, October 26th. All proceeds will be donated to organizations helping with relief efforts across the Carolinas and the Southeast. Hugh Jackman is heading to Radio City Music Hall. The stage and screen actor will deliver 12 concerts for his residency From New York with Love, featuring Jackman performing songs from his Broadway and film musicals. The show kicks off with a weekend in January, then returns for one weekend a month, April through August.
How are you?
Speaking of the stage, Jonathan Groff is returning to Broadway to play 1950s and 60s singer-songwriter Bobby Darin in the new bio-musical Just in Time. The show will take place at the Circle in the Square Theater, which will be turned into an immersive nightclub with a live on-stage band. Previews begin March 28th, 2025, with an official opening set for April 23rd.
Who are you? Someone who prefers not getting involved.
Alan Richson will continue solving crimes and delivering his own kind of street justice. Prime Video has renewed its hit series Reacher for a 4th season. The renewal comes months ahead of the show's season 3 premiere in 2025.
Why'd you gotta hit him so hard? I don't hit soft.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
A lot of action.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, right after the break, Tyler Cruz will have the latest with sports.
Don't go away.
If you've been in an accident with a truck, making the wrong call can be costly. Evidence and witnesses can disappear. You need to stop that from happening. These are some of the most complicated cases for a law firm, but not if you call one that handles truck cases every day. Call a law firm with the resources, experience, and power to go after every dollar you deserve. If you're hurt in a truck accident, call Joe. The law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Tell them you mean business.
I'm Craig Poulin, retired chief of the Maine State Police. My investigations were fact-based with evidence leading to sound conclusions. A sound conclusion on Jared Golden is easily reached. He's on our side. Jared stood against defunding the police and worked with Republicans to strengthen the border. Jared is a Maine sportsman and gun owner who respects and supports the Second Amendment, and he opposes unnecessary and unhelpful gun legislation. Take it from me, Jared Golden is fighting to keep your family safe.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
Backed by popular demand, the Lucerne Inn in Dedham presents its amazing Sunday brunch.
Join us every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for a culinary experience like no other. Indulge in an exquisite selection of dishes, all while enjoying breathtaking views. Seating is limited, so reservations are recommended, but walk-ins are always welcome. The Lucerne Inn Sunday Brunch, where great food meets a spectacular view. Call today to reserve your spot.
It's Judge Judy's greatest hits with classics like
That's ridiculous. That's a lot of baloney.
Judge Judy
on ABC 7.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We'll start over in Orono as Maine field hockey will travel down to UMass Lowell on Friday for another America East contest. And a big one. Maine leads the all-time series by a record of 14-1, but they suffered that singular loss to the Riverhawks just last season. UMass Lowell this year is a perfect 5-0 at home, and the Black Bears know they have a big challenge on their hands.
They're a good team, and they have a good work ethic as well, and the pace will probably be high, and we're just going to have to take it quarter by quarter and, you know, keep working on the things that we've been working on.
We're really focused this week, and we take every conference game seriously, and we're not taking anyone lightly, and we're just going to treat every game as if it's a championship game.
Maine captain Poppy Lambert is just 2 goals shy of breaking the all-time program scoring record. She currently sits at 56 goals. She needs 57 to tie, 58 to break it and be the lone record holder. Lambert has been a massive part of Maine's attack, really her entire career in Orono, and that's thanks to the skills she brought with her from New Zealand over to the States.
It is, I guess, unique for a back to be in contention, you know, for this record, but tells you how good she is on, you know, those specialty plays, the penalty corner and the penalty stroke, and those times that she's been able to execute under pressure for big wins for us.
I was really able to work on some really key skills, especially in the corners back home in New Zealand. And so when I came here, they were already at a really good caliber that I was able to implement it right off my freshman year.
All right, wishing her luck. Moving on to the ice now. Maine hockey off to a good start to the season. They play Army in an exhibition on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. And looking ahead to the future, pretty soon one Mainer will be suiting up for his home team. Going down to the NAHL ranks in the Maine Nordiques, star defenseman Wade Weil has committed to play for the Black Bears. The Nordiques made a run up to the conference finals last year, and they are off to a hot start again this fall. Weil, who is from Newburgh, Maine, is just 18 years old and still has a few years left of junior hockey before he gets to Orono, but he's excited to one day play for the squad he grew up rooting for.
It's been a dream, just a great opportunity. I'm excited to get up there and play. All my friends, family, everybody's reached out, congratulate. Like, it's honestly a dream.
It's why we do this job, to tell a kid, hey, you're going to get an offer from a dream school. What a dream come true for not just Wade, but our staff, to continue a pipeline with the University of Maine and what Coach Barr's doing up there. It's exciting stuff.
All right, let's get on to the football field now for some Thursday night action. We will head over to Belfast for a Class D showdown. John Babst making the trip to Belfast to take on the Lions on this chilly night along the coast. It'll warm up quickly, though, especially for the Crusaders on the kickoff. Malcolm Butler, he is going to return this one all the way down the Lions field. He's going to outrun one man to beat, and he's got him. That is a touchdown to give the Crusaders a 6-0 lead, getting them off to a great start. Next drive for the Crusaders, it's Belfast. Michael Alley, who sniffs out the option and makes a big tackle for a loss to force the Crusaders' punt. Towards the end of the first now, Aiden Willett airs it out to Tyler Wilkinson. He makes an insane catch over a few Lions defenders for the touchdown. We need another look at that one. John Babst goes on to win this one by a score of 42-14. All right, to the soccer pitch now at Cameron Stadium. Bangor hosting Skowhegan in a Class A matchup. First half, Rams up 1. Raiden Sudborough gives a great ball here to Kristen Kendall, but Isaiah Graff comes sliding in and gets it away. Rams stay aggressive, but here comes Graff again, corrals it in the box to keep it 1-0. Rams on the corner now. Dom Queso enters. Sheamus McDonald gets ahead on it, but it's just a little too high. Great chance for the Rams there. Still in the first, another chance. Queso sends it in. Philip Moscone gets the shot off, but another save from Graf keeps it 1-0 after the first half. But in the second, Rams again. Raiden Sudborough, you can't see him. That's a beautiful cross over to Tristan Shaw. He knows what to do with it. Buries it to make it 2-0. Bangor goes on to win 4-0. All right, and for some other scores from around the area, Old Town beats Bangor in field hockey 4-0. Herman beats John Baptist in soccer 4-0. PCHS over Skank in boys soccer. That's a 6-2 final. And Gardner over MCI in boys soccer. 8-0 is the final there. All right, that is all the time we have for sports. Like that.
I've been on the water since I was 2 days old. Fished up and down the coast from Nantucket to Eastport. I've been paying into Medicare, Social Security my whole life, every paycheck. Those benefits should be there when we retire. But Austin-Ontario wants to join extremists in Congress, trying to cut Social Security and Medicare. I earned those benefits. Austin-Ontario should not be able to take those away.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this ad. The all-new Santa Fe is a giant leap forward. It's incredibly tough, unbelievably big, and amazingly smart. The all-new, epically capable Hyundai Santa Fe. There's joy in every journey.
Lease an all-wheel drive Hyundai Santa Fe for only $269 a month, or get 0.99% APR for up to 48 months. Hurry in.
Ready to refresh your home? Fall into savings with incredible deals at the Furniture Gallery. Shop new arrivals from top brands like Ashley, Serta, Restonic, Nectar, and Franklin. Fall in love with unbeatable deals like our sofa and love seat sets for only $9.99, or sofas starting at $3.99. Indulge in ultimate comfort with over 150 recliner styles starting at just $2.99. My family and I are committed to giving you the best value for your money at the Furniture Gallery. Support our main family-owned business and save money. The Furniture Gallery.
A lot of great things happen at schools, but Old Town High School may have one of the best. On Tuesday afternoon, one of their teachers gave birth at the school. Tori Hildreth is a JMG instructor and a 2012 graduate of Old Town. She was full term, but she didn't think baby Bella was ready to come, so Tori went to work like a dedicated professional. A post on Facebook says, before the end of the day, Tori started having contractions. She phoned her mom to take her to the hospital, but the contractions worsened, so the school nurse and resource officer were called in. As Tori was being moved to her mother's car, baby Bella arrived. The post says the birth is a first for Old Town High School, and baby Bella will be part of their class of 2042.
Oh, that's neat. I saw a post from her or somebody that knows her. She says she sent all her students to the library. 15 minutes later, she had her new baby out in the car in the parking lot.
Wow.
So they've got a great story to tell now.
She looks happy, looks like a happy family.
Yeah, congratulations to them.
Yeah, good health upon them. All right, now let's get one final look at the forecast with meteorologist Conrad Sapinski.
Our main weather this morning is brought to you by Irish Collision Center. Irish Collision Center offers expert repairs with a 3D frame measuring system, aluminum repair equipment. Our recent expansion boosts capacity, faster service. We are dedicated to quality every time. Visit us today. Another quiet start to the day for our Friday. It's the weekend around the corner. Let's go, my friends. It is absolutely knocking on our door. So exciting stuff there, right? And weather-wise, though, we're having some exciting stuff once again. A dry stretch will be continuing. Dew points will start to rise right around that Monday morning time frame into the afternoon hours. No worries, though, right in time for Tuesday into Wednesday. Dew points will be dropping once again to comfortable levels. Now, we're getting that push of colder air. So this blue all the way down to Raleigh, upstate New York, Pennsylvania, Detroit. We're looking at temperatures in the 30s and 40s. But in the central parts of the country, look at all this yellow. That's showing some very, very mild temperatures. Minneapolis versus starting out the day close to 70 degrees. It is almost middle of October, incredibly warm temperatures. Now, we've had our own share of very warm temperatures, those red colors pretty much every single day, but then we had that turn on Monday. So this last week, the last 4 days, we saw temperatures a couple of degrees below average, back in those 50s and 60s. Remember those 70s and 80s? They are long gone. Now we are entering more of a fall, cooler type of weather trend. Our average should be right around 60 degrees as a high. We're going to be a couple of degrees below that the next several days. Tuesday, low 50s outside, upper 40s as high temperatures on Wednesday, and then slightly warmer by Thursday. Temperatures will be at 52. That is still well below average. Now, we are seeing those light winds. Millinocket area in and around your region, you are looking at more of a gusty wind, where sustained winds right around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Wind gusts close to 20 to even 25 in some spots. We're actually going to get worse, especially by Saturday morning time frame. So we're looking at widespread, very gusty winds, right around even 40 miles an hour in some spots, inland as well. So of course, by the coast, a little bit more of that gusty wind. For today, though, sunny skies, though, breezy conditions, windy at times, temperatures right around 59 degrees. For tonight, though, mid 40s outside, partly cloudy skies. It will be breezy once again. For tomorrow, very gusty winds, temperatures right around 59. But mostly sunny skies. Our extended forecast outlook does show another good-looking day out there for Saturday, even into Sunday, and then more chances of rain showers by Monday.
Me and my co-workers get up and we go into work every day. Yet illegal immigrants in this state are getting things handed to them for free. Jared Golden voted to protect sanctuary cities instead of voting to help his own people. Jared Golden pretends to be a moderate, but he's not. Washington has exposed Jared Golden for what he truly is, a tax and spend, liberal, Democrat. He says one thing and does another.
Strategic Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. Qualified Chevy lessees can lease this Silverado for around $359 a month. Visit your main Chevy dealers.
Goose River Farm and Meat Store is conveniently located on Route 3 across from Hammond Lumber in Belfast. They have a wide selection of meat and poultry, including beef, pork, lamb, chicken, duck, rabbit, and turkey. Open Tuesday through Saturday. It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of
Color Concepts, Eddington Store, Maine Collision Center, Pet Care by Lindsay, SPS Music, Tensegrity Health and Aesthetics, and Tossie's Checkout Convenience Store.
Tonight, the love triangle that ended in murder.
It was a mess, yes.
But that's not even the most shocking part of the story.
They're like, wow.
And now, the prison interview.
What happened that night?
All new 2020 tonight on ABC.
People all around the state witnessed a spectacular light show last night. Social media is full of wonderful photos of the northern lights that danced across the night sky. These photos are from various viewers from throughout the area. It's caused by a powerful solar storm. The sun is nearing the peak of the solar cycle, which means frequent solar flares and the ejection of charged particles from the sun. Those particles collide with molecules in our old atmosphere, creating that light show. Just beautiful.
They're supposed to happen again tonight, so best of luck and we hope you have a great day.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
Hello, this is George Whelan with Down East Direct Cremation. Now, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, from the comfort of your desktop or the convenience of your mobile device, you can summon transport and arrange a simple, affordable, respectful, Down East Direct Cremation for your deceased loved one. Just by using the button exclusively at downeastdirectcremation.com. All you need is the location address of the person who has died, their vital statistics information, a valid credit card for payment, and that's it. No need to pick up the telephone, no need to answer a bunch of questions, no need to come into the store, and it's still just $9.75 complete. It's so easy, even I can do it. For more information, visit us at downeastdirectcremation.com or call us at 207-225-5332. Simple, affordable, respectful. The Button, only at downeastdirectcremation.com.
Whether you have a $15,000 fender bender or a surgery case worth $1 million, call the Twos.
I walked away from my car accident with minor injuries, but I called the Twos and they still got me $23,000.
I needed multiple surgeries after my accident with a big truck. I called the Twos, and Lowry & Associates got me $700,000.
Big cases and small, we handle them all. Call us. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
From the Great Northwoods to the Rockmount Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, we'll see the aftermath of Hurricane Milton and the death and destruction it left in its wake.
Plus, a man was sentenced for abusing the disabled in Hamden. We'll have the latest.
And with the election fast approaching, we'll give you a look at some of the ballot questions so you can make an informed decision. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us on this Friday morning. We finally made it to Friday. Dun, 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 dun.
Feels like it, yep.
That's my Friday I'm happy song.
Yeah.
We'll have those stories and more coming up. But first, to check the forecast, and that's looking pretty good too.
Beautiful. It was clear overnight. There were stunning displays of northern lights over all around the state of Maine last night. If you are a social media user, I'm sure you'll wake up to